Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Hello, everybody. I was expecting 2 of my guests to show up. I do not know what's happened to them. They both managed to get lost, apparently. Hold on. I'll send them a sad emoji. Anywho, well, let's get right into it. So, stupid. A mouse. I need to get another mouse. It does not work very well. I have to click it multiple times to get it to work right. Even then, it's kind of All right. So, as I'm sure everybody's heard, Joe Biden dropped out, which is wild because like 2 days ago he said he wasn't gonna. And then like a week before that he said he wasn't going to unless health reasons kicked in. So then like 4 days ago he was like, oh, I got COVID. And then today he's like, all right, I'm dropping out. I'm like, what? And I don't know what they're thinking. But they decide they're going to try to get Kamala Harris into this mess. And she says she intends to earn and win Democratic presidential nomination. Like this, all right. So I feel like the timing is suspicious. I feel like if this had happened when the nomination thing was going on, that she probably would not have had any kind of a chance. I think this strategically happened after, so that way they can just put her in it. She doesn't have to win nominations. I mean, she's kind of getting a nomination, kind of, but not like the way Trump went to the RNC and got officially nominated. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, kind of like, I think the time, they're doing it at such short notice, probably so people will feel like they don't have any other choice. For the people who are the never Trumps, will have something to vote for. Let's see. Vice President Kamala Harris said Sunday that she intends to earn and win the Democratic presidential nomination after President Biden announced that he would be bowing out of the 2024 presidential race and endorse her for Democratic presidential nominee. She says, I am honored to have the president's endorsement, and my intention is to earn and win this nomination. Over the past year, I have traveled across the country talking to Americans about the clear choice in this monumentous election, and that is what I will continue to do in the days and weeks ahead. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Donald Trump and his extreme Project 2025. She probably doesn't even know anything about 2025. Like, we never really hear much from her. Like, and when she does speak, she's really odd. Oh, hello, Pleasant Valley Picker. And hugs to Curtis. Let's see. Oh, that's true. Oh, hello, Ron. Yeah, you and Tim were supposed to be up here, by the way. But welcome to the chat, Ron. I had sent y'all a link so y'all could be up here. Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe I didn't properly invite, like, make it obvious that I was inviting, I guess. My bad. Say your apology. It is sad. I've met and made friends in the U.S. and I fear no matter who wins. See, that's exactly the reason, though. They pick, like, the worst they can, but their purpose serves whoever, like, helps run this and push this stuff. And they give us the worst to pick from and watch us fight over it. Well, at least my president didn't do this. Well, my president didn't do that. Like, maybe we could have one and we compare how good they are instead of the bad stuff they do. Like, it's crazy. Oh, that's right. You're politicking. Yeah, I think you're going for what, Congressional District 8? Isn't that what you said you were doing? I can't remember exactly. I think it's Congressional District 8. Hello, Ronnie. How are you, sugar? I will. Oh, if y'all want to, if y'all feeling feisty, y'all can hop over to his channel and subscribe to him as well. In fact, everybody subscribe to everybody if that's what you want to do. That sounds good. Oh, Senate District 8. Okay, I'm sorry. I remember I got the District 8 part. But yeah, my bad. So yes, he is running for Senate District 8 here in Oklahoma, where I am at. Ronald. Yeah, exactly. That's because they're not bought and sold yet. Maybe they don't have any dirty like stuff on them, dirty pictures on them to be blackmailed. They don't want anyone up there that can't be controlled. Aw, thank you, Deej. You're a sweetheart. Mwah. But yeah, they want people who are like really shabby, because if they're shitty, shabby, and they have some, Prince Andrew kind of fucking pictures of them, that's the ones they want, because they know they can control them and they can make them break them easily if they want to. So they don't want people who haven't been in the game long enough that they don't have dirt on them. So that I really feel that's pretty much it on that. Let's see. Let's get back to this message. Yeah. And yeah, when the assassination attempt happened on Trump, they were saying that because it was 2 days away from the nomination, that if he had died, they would have pretty much just stuck Nikki Haley. Oh, ice cream has arrived. Oh. They would have just stuck Nikki Haley in there, because they would need somebody who had delegates and supporters, and so they would have no choice but to take her place, or for her to take his place. And so I feel like, in a way, that's probably what they did here, is because this close to the crunch time of having candidates and everything, that they got her in like that. I think they did. Now, I'm not sure what purpose they have for her. She's very quiet, but I know she's a very corrupt person. She was responsible for a lot of people going to jail because of her crazy bullshit. And like, I think there was one guy that turned out he was innocent. She was ready to throw the book at him, and evidence showed the guy was actually innocent. This is before she got really into politics. But, and some of the things she says is some weird shit. Like, y'all remember that she was talking about something about a coconut tree or something, like someone falling off a coconut tree or whatever. Like, I don't know what the fuck that was, but she comes up with some really odd shit, and then her awkward laugh. Like, I'm not even sure she's like human. Like, I don't know. If this was the Y-Files, we'd probably consider her a lizard person, but whatever. Anyway. So, next headline. Netanyahu doesn't want the war to end because of his own dire political predicament. I have been saying this from the get-go, dang near, that part of the reason why he has been egging this war on and doing what he's doing is because his ratings were so fucking trashed before the October war kickoff. Sorry. Anyway, but remember I had shown y'all and talked to y'all about this in prior live streams, that like early 2023, there was tons of protests wanting him to be out of office. And they were trying to figure out what to do with all the protesters, and this war kicked off. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's like thrown some of them in there for political dissent, honestly. I mean, the guy is absolutely a dictator. And I mean, y'all can look it up. Just look up Netanyahu news, like just pick like April 2023, January, just early 2023, and you'll see a lot of stuff. You'll see that he had tons of protesters. People were trying to get him out of office, and he knew he was going to lose. And I think that's a lot of reason why this war has been going the way it has, because he is drawing it out for as long as he can to do as much damage as he possibly can before he is dragged out of there. He will not go quietly. Anyway. And then I try to keep these somewhat lumped together so that at least somewhat the same subject matter. Netanyahu cancels plan for field hospital for Gaza children. There was no way that he was good. He has been spending the last 10 months killing kids. You really think he's going to put up a hospital? I can't believe he even tried to lie and say he was going to. Of course he cancels the plans for the kids. Because the way they see it, they think those kids are going to grow up and be future terrorists. That's why they justify killing the kids. They've said it numerous times. If you look up Naftali Bennett, he has said that numerous times. Some guy named Smolrick, he said the same thing. Odemar Ben Gavir has said things like that those aren't children, they are future terrorists. So they don't mind killing those kids. The fact that even like claimed he was going to put up a hospital, like that's laughable. That's absolutely laughable. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu decided on Thursday to cancel the defense minister Yoav Gallant's decision to establish a field hospital in Israel. I don't know a lot about him. I think he quit recently or was going to. For the children of the Gaza Strip. Gallant had announced the construction of the facility the day before, arguing that it was necessary because children suffering from various diseases could not be evacuated from Gaza. So, okay, so it was this guy's idea to build a hospital. That's more believable than Netanyahu wanting to build a hospital for those kids. And that's shitty. He canceled it. I don't know how he's going to pretend to care about people and at least try to gaslight us into thinking he's some kind of a humanitarian when you cancel a hospital for children. Really? I guess they're tired of bombing children's hospitals, I guess. They probably wouldn't need this if they hadn't wiped out almost every hospital in that area. Gallant's office said the field hospital in Israel was supposed to be a short-term solution that would meet urgent humanitarian needs until a permanent mechanism for evacuating and treating sick children is established. As reported earlier, the defense minister consulted the plans with his American counterparts Lloyd Austin. Gallant's decision to build the hospital was in response to the situation in which his earlier proposal, made 2 weeks prior, to facilitate the evacuation of severely ill, particularly children, throughout the Israeli territory, was accepted by the prime minister. Still, the request got stuck in further levels of administration, reports the Times of Israel. That Yahoo will not be happy till every one of those kids are dead. I mean, if nothing else, you should be treating this because diseases can spread. And now I don't know how reliable it is, but I did see a report that said that polio is on the rise there. That's pretty fucked up. So, what a shitbag. Canceling a hospital for kids. Wow. I mean, I knew the guy was a shitbag, but it just makes him extra shitty. Like, he just didn't have to do anything. He just approved it. I mean, he could have just left it at that, but no. But anywho, all right, on to this. The Secret Service acknowledges denying some past requests by Trump's campaign for tighter security. I can't believe the Secret Service is actually admitting this. But yeah, they kind of just don't care if Trump gets killed. They don't care if RFK Jr. gets killed. Like, these are just a bunch of assholes, honestly. The Secret Service has acknowledged it denied some requests by Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's campaign for increased security at his events in the years before the assassination attempt on him at the recent rally. In the immediate aftermath of the July 13 attack, the law enforcement agency had denied rejecting such requests. But the Secret Service acknowledges late Saturday, a week after the attempt on Trump's life, that it turned back some of its requests to. Yeah, so now they admitted it. Now they look like fucking idiots. They're like, well, maybe we should come clean a little bit. And like, I don't know who this Melissa McCarthy looking Secret Service person was, but like, that was crazy. The woman couldn't even holster her gun. Oh, here she is. Look how she's holding it. Like, what was that movie? Like, I hadn't seen it yet, but it's got Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock in it. These two must have watched that movie way too many times. This one couldn't even holster her fucking gun. Like, that should be a muscle memory. I mean, you should be able to feel your holster on your side and know where it is. Like, I could probably holster a gun just fine blindfolded. And this silly woman just couldn't fucking manage it. Like, I don't know why they had to make this look like such a joke. There are plenty of women out there who would probably make really good Secret Service agents. In fact, they probably do. And in fact, Muammar Gaddafi, I think a lot of his Secret Service or his equivalent of Secret Service were females, in fact. So I don't know why they had to give us Melissa McCarthy right here. That's fucking embarrassing. The whole world's fucking laughing at us. And they're all like way shorter than him. These bitches are running around like at 5'6", and Trump's like what, 6'1"? The fuck? Like almost none of them except one or two were actually as tall as Trump. So it's really hard to guard somebody if you're not even that tall. Fucking goofy. Let me come back over here and see how everybody's doing. There we go. Let me scroll up a little bit, see everybody. Oh, you're in Warner, Oklahoma. Right on. Yeah. They generally have. I mean, I don't. If I'm wrong about something, I don't mind seeing it. But I always like to kind of pick different news sources just because I want to see what they're all saying. I think they're all fucking lying to us, to be honest. Nice meeting you. We'll catch the rest of this evening. Keep up the great work, ma'am. Look forward to Tim and I coming. Oh, that would be so awesome. Yeah, we'll have to schedule that. Because I forgot about him going out and politicking folk. Let's see. I'm gonna. I think they should have had him retire a long time ago because, I mean, at this point, it was just elder abuse. It's like Weekend at Bernie's, just propping him up, and the poor guy could barely get a sentence out. Like, you could tell he had clear days and not so clear days by the way his face looked. Sometimes he had a 1,000-yard stare, and he was just didn't know. Like, the other day, he was on stage, like, off to the side talking to someone, some older blonde lady, and they're saying he tried to lean in to kiss her because he thought it was his wife. And his wife ran up and grabbed his arm and stopped him. I didn't actually see him lean in for that, but like the video the camera kind of panned off a little bit, so I didn't see it as she was coming up to him. I'm like, oh damn, that's embarrassing. I mean, he was like a foot from her talking to the woman, didn't realize that wasn't his wife. Like, yo, oh, it is a mess. It really it is. I think honestly, if America and its allies, I guess, for lack of a better term, would leave the Middle East alone, it would probably sort it out. Before America and all that tried to start interfering with the Middle East, it actually wasn't that bad. If you go back and look at footage of like Iran and Egypt in like the 1940s and 1950s, like it would, it looked like a civilized place to go. I mean, it had its good and its bad, but now it's a fucking shit show over there. Hold on, everybody. All right, I'm back. Hugs to Curtis and Daniel. Oh yeah. Well, that was when the worst of it started kicking off. But it had been yeah. When that happened around 1948, actually, I would say that was when the huge kickoff started. Because if you look up, footage on YouTube of like Palestine in like the 1920s and the 1930s, you start to see that like some stuff was starting to kick off slowly. It was little skirmishes here and there. But 1948 was the worst of it that kicked off. Oh, absolutely. I always say when the rich wage war, it is the poor who die. And yeah, and now they want to force people into a draft. Like, I'm not saying, Mike, I'm not letting them take my girls because my daughters are 19 and 17. And I am not having it. Like, I'm not letting them get sent off to go fight this stupid war. Absolutely not. There's no honor in these kind of wars. If I was under fire from a madman, it might take me a few seconds to respond. But well, there's the fact that she couldn't find her holster is concerning. I mean, I don't know what all training they go through, but I'm assuming it's supposed to be like, I mean, the military, they have occasional live fire exercises and stuff like that. it'd be silly if I keep trying to say Social Security. God help me. If the Secret Service would do something similar. Lawrence of Arabia was a great film and gives a basic intro to the Western power. My mom watched that movie. I hadn't, but I'd probably try to remember to watch it so I can get an idea of what you're meaning. I mean, I get what you're meaning, but to see it in the, it's got like Laurence Olivier or something, doesn't it? Like I can't remember. Sorry. All right, back to the headlines. Yeah, that's just embarrassing mess right there. All right, so this I thought was weird. It says Trump shooter had 3 overseas encrypted accounts. I mean, that's kind of a what? Like, I don't know. Former DoD counterterrorism analyst Kara Frederick joined the Faulkner Focus to discuss security failures stemming from the Trump assassination attempt and the new details revealed about the shooter's action leading up. So I will. Okay, it's not. Let me see if I can refresh it. Maybe it'll help. There we go. I will make this bigger and we'll do what we normally do. I'll have the captions bigger and y'all can read this so I don't get in trouble for having it to see. I'm trying to figure out how to make this bigger. Oh, all right. Well, they're showing us what we've already seen, so I don't know why they're not getting to his 3 accounts. Oh, okay. Now they might. Well, I was hoping they'd give us a little more than that, but apparently he has some accounts that are connected to something overseas. I wish they delved more into that, but nonetheless, it's kind of like they said, it's kind of weird that he didn't have much of a social media presence. It's kind of odd for a 20-year-old. Let's see. So here it says eerie photo of Trump shooter's bike left at the rally site as expert questioned why flying squad wasn't mobilized. So you're all right. So you're telling me this kid? I assume he had ammunition. Like they didn't mention it, but he had a rifle, ammo. He was carrying some sort of a receiver they thought was connected to possibly an explosive device. And he was just riding with this on him on a bike, and nobody thought this was strange. Like, that's just odd. Whatever. A lone bike cloaked by trees shade near the Pennsylvania manufacturing facility is a haunting reminder of a gunman's hail of gunfire that nearly assassinated a former president. The shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, rode a bicycle to Donald Trump's rally in Butler and ditched it before he opened fire from a rooftop 150 yards from the former president spoke to the crowd of thousands on Saturday. So you're telling me this kid pulled up with all the gear he needed for this on a bicycle? And nobody thought that was a little odd? Nobody was like, hey, kiddo, why are you riding down the street with a gun on your back? The fuck? I don't know. Sounds weird. This headline, Trump says he took a bullet for democracy at a Michigan campaign speech. If I had said this, my party would have ate me alive. It's like, it's not a democracy, it's a republic. So I don't know if they're going to say the same thing or not. But, boy, they just found the most unattractive picture of him there. But sporting a new tanned ear bandage? Okay. Following the failed attempt on his life at the rally in Pennsylvania, Donald Trump claimed, I took a bullet for democracy a week later. He also broke the promise he made in his convention speech to never talk about the shooting again because it was too painful for him to recount. Well, maybe he changed his mind. I mean, if someone shot at me, I feel like I could talk about it as much as I wanted to. But, I don't know. I just saw that and I was like, don't they always bitch that it's not a democracy? I don't know. Anyway. So apparently a man was arrested for threatening the FBI director. But does nobody know how to use a burner phone or a burner email address that's not going to get traced back to you? Does nobody do that? People just be calling up or something with their own phone number? Shit. A Georgia man has been indicted for threatening FBI director Christopher Way on 4chan. 4chan? God help me. People still using 4chan? An internet forum that is popular on the far right. I think it's popular with a lot of people, not just far right. But John Woodbury, a 34-year-old from Roswell, Georgia, was arrested on Thursday after a federal grand jury indicted him early this month on one count of threats by interstate commerce. Threats by interstate commerce. It sounds weird. And another count of threat to a federal law enforcement officer. According to the indictment against him, let's see. After his arrest, Woodbury was arraigned before the U.S. Magistrate Judge Catherine Salinas. Threatening people on 4chan. That sounds like something a 14-year-old would do. What the fuck? Anyway. Oh, and just for those who might be drinking energy drinks, I figured this might be for you. A deadly diet combination theory behind colon cancer's rise in young people. Yikes. Researchers may be one step closer to unraveling the cause of a colon cancer crisis in young people. They have found that a combination of eating too much sugar and not enough fiber causes the gut to produce a bacteria that speeds up the aging of people's cells. This makes them more susceptible to mutations and damage, and that leads to cancer and less likely to be able to fight off the growth of tumor cells, according to new research presented at the world's largest cancer conference this weekend. Let's see. Meanwhile, a separate study revealed that at the conference theorizes that the energy drinks could be partially fueling the colorectal cancer epidemic under 50. The researchers behind the trial believe that the ingredient called taurine feeds and promotes growth harmful to gut bacteria linked to the disease. So, yeah, I believe taurine is supposed to be synthesized bull urine, and I believe that's one of the main ingredients in Red Bull. It might be in other energy drinks too. I just know that taurine is definitely in Red Bull. So you might not want to drink energy drinks anymore, especially if it's got that in it. Oh, and our last bit of it, I actually thought this was hilarious. Like I'm kind of sad to see Adidas apologizing for this. I think it's fucking hilarious. It wasn't really, I mean, they took it as an anti-Israel campaign because they want to bitch about everything. But well, I thought this was funny. I would love to have had a campaign poster from this. Adidas has apologized for its new SL72 sneaker relaunch campaign. It created a lot of controversy since the design made its original debut at the 1972 Olympics because the company chose a Palestinian model, Bella Hadid, to headline the campaign. The 1972 Olympics, held in Munich, are the best known for terrorist attack carried out by the members of the Palestinian militant group Black September. The attack resulted in the deaths of 11 Israeli coaches and athletes. And now them getting killed was not hilarious. I'm not saying that. But Adidas, and I think there's a interesting history about World War II in Adidas, I think. But to commemorate, using tennis shoes to commemorate the 1972 Olympics where this happened, and picking Bella Hadid, who is part Palestinian, I have to admit that was a humorous thing to do. I found the flub hilarious. I probably shouldn't, but I do find it funny. And the fact they got so fucking mad about it, and just to kiss ass and to make sure they're showing they're sorry, they fired Bella Hadid and hired an Israeli supermodel. It's one of the instances where it's not even about looks necessarily. They're picking people based on their religion or whatever, or ethnicity, or nationality. I think nationality is the term here. But yeah, I just thought that screw up was so fucking hilarious. How tone deaf can anybody be? Honestly, yikes. I don't know. I found it amusing. If I can, I'll try to find a poster that showed that campaign before they switched the models and have it printed out and keep it, just because I think that was funny. Anyway, I got a fucked up sense of humor. I'm sorry. Let me scroll up, see what I missed. Hello, Miss Frosty Broccoli. No, Lawrence Olivier is not in it. My bad. Hello, Sugar. How are you? I predict conspiracy theories about it will float out. Oh, yes, it absolutely will. Nothing fascinates us more than that kind of shit. You have guns everywhere, of course. No. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Pennsylvania is one of those places where you can just kind of walk down the street with a big old gun on your back, though. And I figured, if the kid is from there, I figured people would recognize him. They might think it was a little odd. Yeah, I don't remember where they had those weapons stashed on them. I think they had them in their bags or something. But an AR is a bit longer, so you couldn't just fit it in a backpack. I guess you could if you know how to break the weapon down and put it back together, I guess you could. Especially considering there's former President Canada speaking in this small town. He is riding his bike with a rifle in his back. I know, right? I figured he might have shown up in a car where he can hide anything. Trump changes his mind like I changed my socks. Yeah. The sad thing I noticed is folks spend all their time on this instead of demanding real details on their platform. I think, yeah, I agree. That's why I try to point out all the silliness is my way of wanting the truth. Sugar is a killer. It's hard to avoid sugar. It really is. I'm trying to cut down on it, but it's difficult. When brands stop getting political, buyers won't care. There's always going to be somebody out there trying to make a big political situation out of something. I disagree with companies cashing in on people's death. Yeah, I do think it's a little weird they picked the 1972 Olympics for that. Like, I feel like that was weird. Like, I don't know what they were going for with that. I mean, we would find it very weird. They were selling, September 11th tennis shoes. Like, that would be considered kind of fucking weird. Like, what's the advertisement for that? Make sure the building doesn't collapse on you. Wear our shoes so you can run faster. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, that would be just weird and tacky. But to do something silly like that, and then to be tone deaf enough to hire a model who has been very openly pro-Palestinian, which I'm fine with, obviously, as y'all have been to this channel before, I'm pro-Palestinian. But for the 1972 Olympics, you're going to pay homage to that by having a Palestinian model it. Just seemed a little tone deaf, even by my standards. And I'm a fairly tone deaf person sometimes, but even that's beyond me. I find it like embarrassingly humorous that they did that. Plus, I actually like Bella Hadid. I'm sick of brands, companies, and celebrities getting political. Right? I agree. I miss the days when they just entertained us. Well, I think that is the fastest I have gone through this because I got all the headlines out of the way and we're not even at the 40-minute mark. So, yay. So, I will wrap this up early because my muffin has brought me some ice cream. Yay. It's like a lower calorie, lower carb, so it's not quite as bad. So, I am going to go jump into that ice cream. And I appreciate y'all so much. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me stop sharing screen for just a second. Let me do something real quick. My mouse is not wanting to work. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. There we go. All right. Gotta hit the mouse a few times. All right. Oh, hi, Bone. How are you, sugar? Right? But I'm just speaking more just how tone deaf it might be. So, but yeah, it would be pretty fucked up. Casualty-wise, it would be worse, yes. My mouse is not working. There we go. Oh, and if y'all could or would, I am trying to raise some funds to go see my daughter. And if you click on that, it gives an explanation, the backstory about me going to see her. So, yeah. But lots of hugs to everybody. If you can, please give to the fundraiser. I love y'all so much. Y'all are super awesome. So much hugs to Bone and Pleasant Valley and Miss Frosty Broccoli and Curtis and Ron and Deej and Ronnie. Yep, all those awesome people. I do. I need to catch me a new mouse. I do. I need to catch me a better mouse. I do. Lots of hugs to all of you. Oh my God, it is ice cream day. Holy shit. You're right. It's perfect. I'm going to go celebrate ice cream day. That's awesome. But y'all have been awesome. I love y'all. I'll play our little outro song for everybody. And I shall see y'all when I see y'all.
Welcome to the ship show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder dash poppycock.